all might know him. With a PhD in educational leadership, policy, and diversity, he's an Ontario certified teacher and has been an educator for over 25 years in Jamaica, the Bahamas, and Canada. He's presently an academic coordinator and faculty member in the Master of Teaching program at OISE at the University of Toronto and an adjunct assistant professor at Queen's University and professional Master of Education. He has authored 2 books, Teachable Moments with DR.ABC, A Spoonful for the Journey, and The Invisible Student in the Jamaican Classroom. He also has a number of publications in journals and books, chapter focusing on areas EDI, 2SLGBTQIA+ issues in education, racism/anti-Black racism, and educational leadership. He's presented at numerous conferences and has delivered many presentations as a workshop facilitator, keynote, and motivational speaker. He loves people, food, fashion, traveling, and bringing community together for a good meal. Over to you, Dr. ABC.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much to our lovely, amazing co-hosts and MC and all that good stuff. The energy in the place is amazing. And I just want to jump right in and join the energy. Literally, that's what I'm here for, to jump right in and join this beautiful energy. And if you ask me, before I get into it, if you ask me why, what am I here for? What is my purpose here today? Talking to a conference like this, the EnVision 2SLGBTQIA+ Indigenous, Black, and Racialized Collective Care and Activism. Why am I here? I am here to spread joy. I am here to sprinkle glitter on myself first. Yes, I am sprinkling glitter on myself first, and then I sprinkle glitter on everybody else. And I'm going to come back to that because I'm going to explain to you why I sprinkle glitter on myself first, even though I am one of the keynote speakers, right? Because I'm going to take care of me first. And we're going to talk about that when we get into identity. So I'm here to do that. I'm here to spread joy and share the space and the light. So that is why I'm here today. I'm going to tell you why. Because growing up in Jamaica, you see me, I'm representing today, okay? Come on now, Jamaica, I'm representing. Is in high school, elementary school, I never had this opportunity. So I know there's a lot of persons out there, as we say back home, soothsayers who's wearing, oh, what is happening today in TDSB? Oh, they're having a gay talk over there. Oh, they're trying to... Listen me carefully. What we're doing here today, oh, I have to calm myself down because I feel my ancestors all over me. That libation, let me tell you something. That pouring all over, come right in. I'm in this house alone, but I tell you, I feel it. Come right in. Come right in. Hug me. I can feel my help. Let me tell you something. I am here today because of love. 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 So I'm not here today as a professor of equity, diversity, inclusion, leadership, policy. I could do all that great stuff. But I'm here to do a greater stuff. And that greater stuff is to spread love. To say to all 2SLGBTQI+ children, students, teachers, parents, janitors, front desks, office administrators, bus drivers, every single person who is listening to me inside and outside of school, that you're amazing, you're special, you're loved. And that is why today we're talking about identity, care, and activism. So let me share my slide. I'm getting into it. So we want to focus today in this conversation on your theme today. And your theme is about Indigenous, Black, and Racialized collective care and activism. And when I saw this theme, in my mind took me back to 2019 when I was a keynote speaker at YMCA in Peel. And the theme was Think Black, LGBTQ. This was a great opportunity for me because I got to speak to racialized people, Black people, and their allies. And some people may say, well, can't we just talk to everybody at the same time? Well, we have been doing that. And it didn't work. Because just like many of you have just discovered that we were all in a pandemic, but many of us have experienced the pandemic in different ways. And so it is that even in our schools, in our schools, our 2SLGBTQI plus students have experienced school in very, very different ways. And so my mind went back to one of the most impactful conversations I had was in 2020 when I spoke in Peel again at the IDA conference. And so as I was preparing this conversation with all of us here at the TDSB, I said to myself, I know our theme today, 3 words I'm going to speak on for the next couple of minutes. It's going to be identity, care, and activism. 3 words. Identity, care, and activism. And then my mind went back to the flyers. I'm going to share with you the flyers, funny enough. So on the screen here, that's the flyer for 2022, this year, May the 17th, International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. And the theme there is our bodies, our lives, our rights. And immediately the word identity came up. Following me? And then I look back at the theme for 2021. And it says healing, resisting, supporting. Together. Together, resisting, supporting, healing. The big word there is healing. And then I said to myself, wow, this is care. And then I went back as far as 2020. And the theme there was breaking the silence. And I was like, wow, this is too real. Because then I saw advocacy, activism, and action. So for the next few minutes, I think they said 18, I think I've done 4. So the next 14 minutes, we're talking about identity, care, and activism. Identity, care, and activism. So the first of all is that we can't get away from who we are. You know, a lot of persons think that, you know, to be, identify as 2SLGBTQ, you could get up tomorrow morning and say, oh, well, this morning I'm gay. Tomorrow morning I'm not going to be gay. The next morning I'm going to be straight. Tomorrow I may be half a gay. Maybe next week I'll be about 2% gay. And then today I'm going to be just full gay. It doesn't work like that. Because if it did, I would not have been gay. Okay, so let's go into that. What are you saying, Dr. Campbell? Growing up in Jamaica, going to school like many of you students watching me, school was not the best place. I mean, I'm going to show you in my research. School was not the best. I was terrified of school. I had to get myself together to go to school because school was where the bullying had, the teasing had, the name calling had. I was called Sissy Boo. In Jamaica, we use the word Batman. It's a derogatory word. We use glitter girl. They used to address me as Marky, little sister, because my big brother is Mark, and all of that. And school was a horrible place. So, for me, identity is important because all these labels were placed on me. And at a very late stage in my life, maybe in my middle 20s, I started to redefine in myself. So I'm here to tell you, those of you who are in high school, you're 14, you're 15, you're 16, all of you who are listening to me, use the opportunity now to take your time to identify and yourself. First of all, to yourself. You're going to come out to yourself. You're identifying to yourself. And a part of that identity is not just that you are gay. I am gay, but I'm a lot of things more than gay. I could say I'm supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I won't say that. But I'm a whole bunch of stuff other than gay. And we need to understand that and how that plays in our identity. But I want to borrow the words of Linda Billings. And she talked about, we enter the society raced. I want you to listen carefully. We come to school raced. We apply for jobs raced. We enter the marketplace raced. We can never leave our race at home or on a shelf. So for those who like to say, well, it's a race thing, why are we talking about race? Well, we're talking about me. Because every time I enter a space, if I go to the supermarket, they see that a black man is coming through the door. We'll get into that another time. When I go on an airport and I go into a plane, I've been to an airport the other day and I was in group 1. Group 1 is first class. I literally had an altercation because immediately I was not looking like the first class passenger they are used to. So your identity, your race, it matters. I matter. You matter. And so when we enter this place as racialized persons, there's a lot of conversation about our intersectionality because yes, we are 2SLGBTQ plus I. We are all of that, but we are also racialized. I am also a black man. So because we are plagued by the social construct, we have to find ways to live our lives. We have to find ways to live our lives and participate in society with one aspect of our identity that seems to enter the room before we do. So, I am here simply to say to all of us, allow our 2SLGBTQ students to participate in lives. Allow me to participate in society and live my life. Because locking myself in my house because I'm scared to be bullied, that's not participating. Being afraid to go outside because I don't want to be hurt, that's not participating. Being afraid and ashamed of who I am and hiding and lying and doing things just for society to be pleased with me, but I'm dying on the inside, that is not participating. Pretending to be somebody else, getting married, and you know, I will go married to a woman if I don't have feelings for a woman, and then I have kids and live an entire life that is a lie. That is not participating. There's a word for that. It's a P word. That's called performance. That's called pretense, but it's not participating. So I leave you there with identity. And from my book, that's in the cover of my book, The Invisible Student in the Jamaican Classroom, where I did the research. I asked a lot of my self-identified Jamaican gay men to tell me about their identity. And some of these quotes, I'll leave 2 with you. One person said, I felt like a circle in a square. I felt like I always had to be making excuses for being different. I felt like I committed a crime because I was different. Identity. Next quote from the next slide. I'll choose another quote at the bottom there. It says, I think it is important, talking about identity, because one of the things about living your truth is also being authentic. Self-identifying completes that process for me. So when I start to self-identify, it wasn't for you. You know, people think come out the closet for you. I came out the closet for me. I came out the closet so I could breathe. I came out the closet so I could live my best life. I came out the closet so I could be my best self. So I did not come out the closet for you. You may benefit from that as a fringe benefit, but the real reason was for me. So identity is about you. And I put that slide there quickly because I wanted to share that we are many things. We're many things. So as you're listening to me, I want you to say or write on a piece of paper, I am. Just the word I am. And beside the word I am, you write something else. I am. I am Jamaican. I am Mother Campbell's son. I am Marine's little brother. I am Kashka's best friend. I am a dancer. I love to sing. I am fabulous. I am gorgeous. I am intelligent. I am amazing. I am black joy. I am resistance. I am my ancestors' wildest dream. I am just nice. I am kind. I am bold. I am brave. I am emotional. I am a crier. I am. Take the time out to define yourself. If we were in school today, well, we're kind of in school. But if I was in the classroom today, I would allow all of us to write I am poems. So I'm going to do me a favor. If your teachers who are listening to me, allow your students to write some I am poems today. Everybody, not just the 2SLGBTQIAP, but everybody. Allow everybody to write some I am poems. And if you want to share them with me, send them to my email. And I'll maybe share some out there in social media. I am. Because we're bigger than one label that you gave to us. So we're going to jump right into the next word. And the next word is care. The next word is care. And in my book, the book that I wrote, there's a slide on your screen right now. And it asks the question to the participant. And the participant, over 121 person participated in this work. And the question I asked was, place you felt most hated. That's the word I'm using. The place you felt most hated. I'm not sure if anybody's surprised, but school was the highest. That's why we're here, Salima. That's why we are here, superintendents. That's why we are here, assigned and principals. That's why we are here, centrally. I love those words, assigned and centrally. Fabulous words. I like fancy words. That's why we are here. Because school, and I have tons of books on my shelf. Tons of books. I'm looking at them on my shelf, written by amazing scholars, right in Canada here as well, and in the Caribbean, and also in America. And many of those studies, it says the same thing. The finding is the same. School is a place. So if school is a place that our students are feeling hate, then we are here to work at fixing that. We are here to create safer space. We are here to create healing. We are here to create joy. So that is why this conference is necessary. Because I've heard conversations about why a conference like this. The research says the place where these students felt most hated was school. So if school is a place, why don't we address school? Why don't we look at the issues in school? Why don't we look at how our students are finding school, a sense of belonging, a sense of safety? So yes, absolutely yes. This is a place to address the issues. Don't be double-minded about it. Don't be timid about it. Schools are the place to address all identities and to pour in care. And so I leave you, look at this slide, and it talk about the mental health. Because a lot of our students, I remember being bullied. High school was rough for me. Grade 7 to 9 was very rough. I never forget, grade 7 to 9 was very rough. Grades 10 and 11 were a little better because I found friends and allies in grade 10 and 11. I found maybe one or two teachers who didn't do anything in Jamaica, but they gave me a look that says, I see you. They were scared to defend and they were scared to speak up. Sadly, it is also happening right here in TDSB. And it's happening in other school boards where educators are scared to support and be a true ally. But then you like to wear your allyship pin, right? And your allyship badge. You better stop that foolishness. I did say that. You better stop that foolishness of slapping a pin on and putting flags on your door and, and wearing certain t-shirts and talking about certain days when you are not genuinely invested in the care of our 2SLGBTQI plus students. So when we talk about allyship, we're talking about authentic allyship, not performative, not opportunist, but real authentic allyship. Because in high school, I didn't felt like I was cared for in grade 7 to 9. No one cared that I was being bullied. No one cared that I was scared to take the bus with some of those boys. I can remember how scared I was on that 8A bus. I will never forget. Long years after, I still remember how scared I was. And I used to wait at the bus stop just to make sure everybody gets to go, so I could take an empty bus or a bus with less students or a bus with more adults seeking a safe space on a public bus. Oh, that should be a story I'll tell one day. Seeking a safe space on a public bus. If you don't take public transportation in certain countries, you don't understand the danger. No one cared at church that I was crying constantly for Jesus to change me. No one cared that I was told that I was demon possessed. No one cared that I had people around me who said, well, you're going to catch HIV and you'll die. That's your end. I wish they'd see me now. Hey, I'm DR.ABC. Hey, how you doing? Because I've been there. So when you hear me saying this, it's not being boastful. Well, it is being boastful. Of course, I am boasting in the fact that I'm here today. But I don't want to keep boasting in that I am here today, because I know there are many other children in school right now who are experiencing what I experienced in school. Over 30 years I experienced that, and there are kids who are still experiencing that. So we have work to do. We have work to do. And that brings me to advocacy and action and activism, my final word. Because on the board there, you see the news. I put some news clippings in my research. And the first news clipping says, August the 2nd, 2011, our news reported a 23-year-old Ricardo Morgan, accused of being gay, was murdered. October 11th in the news, 16-year-old was chopped to death, was murdered. And in July 21, 2013, Dwayne Jones was killed by a mob. He was 14. So do not tell me that this conversation is not necessary. He was 14. That brings me to advocacy, activism, and action. That we stand up. For me at the age 12, I want you to listen to this carefully. If you forget anything I've said, I want you to remember this point I'm going to make. Advocacy, activism, and action. Listen carefully, everybody. For me at age 12, wow. I welcome my emotions. For me at age 12, all I wanted was a teacher, any teacher, to say to the boys, leave him alone. That's all I wanted. I didn't want any prize. I didn't want any sticker. I didn't want any first place or second place or consolation prize. I didn't want to be on any school team. I didn't even want to be in the drama club at that time. I didn't want to be a prefect. I didn't even want A's. All I wanted was a teacher to say to the boys, leave him alone. So I want to leave that with you for advocacy. Teachers, educational leaders, policymakers, curriculum developers, researchers, parents, community activists. Your job, I use the word job, your job is to help us to take care of us. Yeah, it's to help us to take care of us. That is what being an ally is. That is what being an ally is. An ally. And I want to leave this with you. A major part of resisting, I'm going to go back to identity, is being who you are. So I share you a picture of myself in Toronto at Gay Pride, living my best life. And I want to say this to you. I love this picture for many reasons. When I was 13, 14, 15, 16, and you tell me I would be at a place where I could breathe and just be myself, I would say, oh, well, you're lying. And so this picture for me is about self-love. It's about resistance. It's about black boy gay joy. Black gay joy. That's what this picture is. It is nothing about hurting. It's about loving myself. Nothing hurts me more than when I meet 2SLGBTQI plus persons and they said, I hate myself. I have heard that terminology many times. So I know that a part of this resistance is self-love. So I leave it to you the words of the great Maya Angelou. My mission in life, find your people, find your voice, find your joy, find your happiness, find your power. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor to be here to share with you. Thank you so much.